Good day and welcome to AFD'S Academy. I am Achu Francis Dibam, the instructor. Today, we're going to be taking on relative molecular mass, calculations on relative molecular mass. And so I would advise we do subscribe and like and possibly share the video if you find it very interesting. And most significantly, if you have an issue or any problem at all in any topic in chemistry, physics and mathematics that you tend not to have a proper understanding of, you can always send a message through the comment section so that I can attend to it. So, relative molecular mass calculations, where we're going to begin. Virtually, almost in all calculations when it comes to chemistry, our knowledge of relative molecular mass is expedient because we tend to deal with compounds a lot, especially when it comes to calculations. But most chemistry students are forgetting the significance of this relative molecular mass. They do not take it very much important. So when it comes to some basic disciplinary calculations to be carried out, they always find it difficult and they will be lacking behind. Now, the relative molecular mass here is a combined reaction of the various atomic masses in a compound. So if we have carbon, for example, with atomic mass 12, and we have nitrogen with atomic mass 14, and calcium with atomic mass 40, then in a compound consisting of, let's say, CH4, which is a methane as a compound, we have to know the atomic mass of carbon, and we have to know that of what? Hydrogen. As such, we sum them up. So our knowledge of the various atomic masses becomes very significant in the process of calculating our relative atomic masses. And it is also important that the first 20 elements, which are the basic elements which every chemistry student must be familiar with, it is very important that we should know the first atomic masses of these first 20 elements, the atomic masses of these first 20 elements, from hydrogen to calcium, and even beyond, because when it comes to calculation of relative molecular mass, you never know the compound that will be coming in. We have a lot of them, zinc and so on, which are above 20. Those are the transition metals and many other ones, depending on what you're going to be dealing with. So even in the knowledge of mole concept, electrolysis, and all of these things, our knowledge of atomic masses and relative molecular masses are very, very important. So by that reaction, I will begin by solving basic questions, and some of them that looks a little complicated. Most of the students will be asking, what do we do when it comes to such situations? So let's begin with the simplest one. Now, if we're taking the first one, for example, H2SO4, we want to calculate the relative molecular mass of this compound, tetrazosulfate 6 acid. Our knowledge of the various atomic masses becomes what? Significant. So in this one, there is a subscript. Whatever is the atomic mass of this must be multiplied with the subscript, plus this multiplied with the subscript, and that is how we continue. So let's begin. Hydrogen has an atomic mass of 1, so the subscript here is 2, so 1 times 2. Put it in a bracket, plus sulfur is 32, plus oxygen is 16 times 4. So now 1 times 2 here is 2, plus 32 plus 64. Now, 60 plus 30 is 90, 96, 97, 98. So total I have 98 G-mole. So this is our first question, and this is how we calculate it. So it is important, if we know the atomic masses, then we can proceed further. Like what I've just done right now. Without a proper understanding of the atomic mass or masses, we can move further. But in case of our various calculations, we understand that the atomic masses are often given. Now the application of it becomes what? Significant. So we should take note of that. So let's take our next question, question number 2. HCl. So the atomic mass of hydrogen is 1 plus that of chlorine is 35.5. So if I add these two, I have 36.5 gmol. So this becomes the atomic mass for hydrochloric acid. Let's take something a little different. Let's take that of ammonium sulfate. Now, ammonium sulfate, if you look very well in this compound, we are having a bracket with a 2 outside, then we continue with our SO4. So the application here is a little different, but like our various knowledge of mathematics and chemistry generally, when you have something in a bracket and there is a number outside, that number outside will be used to multiply with the numbers inside in terms of what? Expansion. So we're going to deal with that. In that sense, some persons may prefer to put in the 2's first. So this will be N2H8. This is it. But for those who choose to deal with it this way, but I prefer to finish all of this and multiply through with it. So let's deal with the other method. So now we go. Nitrogen is 14 plus hydrogen is 1 times 4, which is 4, close bracket 2, plus sulfur is 32, plus oxygen is 16 times 4. Now this is 18, the 2 is outside, plus 32, plus 64. So we're going to begin by doing plus 64. Now let's add 36 plus 32.
132.
Plus 64.
132.
Everything?
Yes.
132. So this is the relative molecular mass of ammonium sulfate. For like, I put in gmol. So by this, that's how we continue. We're going to take another one, iron 2 tetraozosulfate 6. Okay, 2 sulfate. So the relative molecular mass of iron is 56, plus sulfur is 32, plus oxygen is 16 times 4. Now 56 plus 32 plus 64, 152 gmol. So this is it. We'll take another number. Copper sulfate pentahydrate. Copper sulfate pentahydrate. Now, the atomic mass of copper is 64, plus that of sulfur is 32, plus oxygen is 16 times 4, plus 5 H2O, hydrogen is 1 times 2 plus 16. Now, 64 plus 32 plus 64 plus 5 open bracket 18. Now, 64 plus 32 plus 64 is what?
160.
160 plus 5 times 18.
90.
Is it 18 now?
Yes, 5 times 18,
90. 90 plus 160.
160 plus 90. 250.
So we have 250 gmol. So this is it. Copper tetraozosulfate 6 pentahydrate. We're going to take another one. Ammonium triisocarbonate 4. NH4 to CO3. All right. Nitrogen here is 14 plus hydrogen is 1 times 4 plus carbon is 12 plus oxygen is 16 times 3. Now 14 plus 4, 18, open bracket 2 plus 12 plus 48. Yes, 36. Yes. 16 plus 12 plus 48. When we add all of this, what do we have? 40, 50, 60, 96. So we have 96 gmol. So this is how we continue. Let's take another one. I also decided to be taking this kind of questions that have bracket, because most students get confused when it gets to that. So we should see, we shouldn't just be dealing with plain questions like H2SO4, HNO3, and so on. But what if the question consists of a bracket or constitutes a bracket? What do? This is what we do. So let's take another one, calcium hydroxide. Okay, calcium hydroxide. Now, calcium here is 40 plus oxygen is 16 plus 1, close bracket 2. Now, this is my 40 plus 16 plus 1 is 17 times 2. 40 plus, that is 34, right?
17 times 2. 34.
34 plus 40 is 74. So by this, you see, here we have 74. Okay, let's take another question. Potassium heptaozodichromate 6. Now, the atomic mass of potassium is 39, that of chromium is 52. So we proceed. Now this is 39 times 2 plus chromium is 52, yes, times 2 plus oxygen is 16 times 7. Now 39 times 2 is what?
78.
78 plus 52 times 2.
104.
16 times 7.
112.
112. So all of these will give us what?
78 plus 104 plus 112. 294.
294. So this is it. We're still going to take a little more. Phosphorus is 31. So I have 31 times 2 plus oxygen is 16 times 5. 31 times 2 is 62. 16 times 5 is what?
80.
80. 80 plus 62.
142.
140.
2.
Okay, 142.
Yes.
Okay, let's take some questions that look applied, maybe one or two. The question says, 1 mole of a compound, which is okay, 2. Now, 1 mole of a compound, this, has a mass of 162. Calculate the relative molecular mass of N. They say it has 162. So, for us to be able to do that, we equate the empirical formula to the relative molecular mass. So, this is 162. This is equals to 162. So, my M plus, I don't know what M is, but I have to continue. Hydrogen is 1 plus carbon is 12 plus oxygen is 16 times 3, which is 48. From bracket 2 is equal to 162. M plus 40, 50, 61. 61 times 2 is what?
122.
122 is equals to 162. Now I'm looking for M. I have to make M the subject, so I take this across the quality sign. So my M is equals to 162 minus 122 is what?
40.
40. So my M is 40. Okay, let's take another question again. If the relative molecular mass of an element is not a whole number, it can be deduced that the element is dash. Now, for example, we have 35.5 as the relative molecular mass of chlorine. When this happens, it can be deduced that that element is isotopic. It is due to isotopy that we can have all of these kind of relative molecular masses that are not what whole numbers.